Excited to kick off today's tutorial. Today, what we're going to be focusing on is we're going to be talking to Kate, who is focusing on the 2 strategies to grow your email list without social media. And this is one of those things where I'm really excited to have Kate on talking about this, because as you are building out a business, especially if you're building out like a more creator-focused business, a content-focused business, a learning-focused business, building out that email list is such a strong foundational step that you can be taking to make sure that your business is successful, right? So many businesses, they're constantly worrying about where's my next sale going to come from? Where am I going to find my next customer? But by taking a lot of these strategies that Kate is covering today, what you can do is build out that foundation so that you always have great folks coming in the door, that you're always building this like amazing on-ramp into your products and into your offerings. And so yeah, I'm really excited to have Kate to walk us through this, because she is an absolute expert. To give you a little bit more background about Kate, Kate is the host of the Do the Brave Thing online podcast. It is her soul and soul's mission to put money in the hands of good people so that they can do good with it, while eradicating the idea that nice people always finish last in business. She shares spammer free sales techniques with that even your grandmother would be proud of you using, and helps ADHD creators with her membership-inspired Action Takers Club. And Kate overall is just an expert when it comes to thinking about how do you build these strategies that help you build more and more momentum in your business. So we're coming into December, right? This is often the reset period for a lot of businesses, but this is a time to take a real close look at your operations, at your growth stack, at your marketing stack, and understand what are the things that you can be doing to set yourself up for success in 2026. And so today what we're going to be going over is how to leverage freebie swaps, being in bundles and summits, and hosting your own bundle to inject your email list with subscribers. And don't worry, Kate's got some handouts coming your way too. So in 2025, it's really hard to stand out since every social media platform is so oversaturated and the SEO boom is over thanks to like AI taking over the world. Don't worry, Kate is gonna come give you some ways to combat that and not just feel like you're fighting against the tide, but feel like you are actually thriving in your business as we move into the next year. So without further ado, I am so excited to hand off the rest of the call. Kate, rest of the call is all yours. Please take it away.
Oh, hey everyone. So just so everyone knows, I talk really fast, and when I get very excited, which I get very excited about people growing their businesses, I tend to talk even faster. So if you're somebody like me that loves listening to stuff on 2x speed and you're watching the replay, good luck, Buttercup. We're going to get it. You'll be like, I got nothing. This is the first time I've ever had to listen to it on 1x speed. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my Notion document, but I like it to be very interactive. So definitely let us know in the comments, like what your niche is, what you're trying to sell, all those types of stuff. So that way we can come up with examples and workshop while we're here together. Because you can listen to stuff all day long, but unless you're actually implementing, nothing is going to happen. Hence why the name of our club is the Inspired Action Takers Club, because we need that action. But I'm looking at the screen over here, so if it's like, oh, she's not looking in our direction, that is definitely why. And like we already talked about, I'm going to open this up with you are 1000% correct. Like if you feel like growing on social media has just been like a giant waste of your time, and now you've got the AI and you have the algorithm, which you already thought kind of hated you in the first place, kind of working against you to grow your email list, you're right. It is harder, but I'm not here to say you need to give them up, or you're for spending time on Instagram, or how dare you do TikTok. I'm not about that or life. I'm about that and life. So the 3 tools and the 3 techniques that we're going to talk about here are that you can use to supplement social, or if you're like me and you're secretly an introvert and you're like, I hate social, you can do this instead of social. Okay. So I'm not here to badmouth anybody or yuck their yum, but I'm here to add some other strategies, some other tools in your toolbox that are very effective. Again, compare this with social. If you're somebody who runs ads, which that is awesome for you, you can go ahead and run ads. But this is just like, okay, if I'm having a hard time in front of people, how can I inject more people onto my email list? And this is what we really call some blitz strategies, i.e. you're going to get a whole bunch of people in a very short period of time, but unless you do it consistently, it's not just going to stroll in. So like back in the day before AI answers, you could have SEO and it could trickle in forever. It was a very evergreen type of a source. Now, like on social, we all know a post is dead probably in 30 minutes, though we'd like to say it's not. So I just kind of like let you know where these fit into your toolbox. And one of the biggest things that I have found with business owners is they give up when all of their effort that they're putting in is just not giving them the output. And being able to see an extra 10, 15, 100 people on your email list all of a sudden just gives you such a spark, such an excitement that you're going to want to keep going all of a sudden, because finally something is indeed working. And I'm not here to tell you, oh, like these are brand new things and you've never heard of them before, like any of that sort of stuff. What I'm here to do is just really sort of show you why it's important that you start incorporating them now. And I started with what I consider the easiest one, but there are indeed some hidden dragons, as we like to call it, that can rear their ugly heads, because that's one of the things that we had talked about. So the first tool, and we already briefly mentioned it already, is what is called a freebie swap. And the reason why this is the easiest one is, y'all, you can get this done in 2 emails. Honestly, you can get this done in a DM and an email. So basically, you're just going to be teaming up with another creator and you're going to share about each other's lead magnets to your respective lists. Now, I think the most effective way to do this is both of you guys just send a solo newsletter that's just like, oh my God, guys, so you know that I am great with words, but my graphics, are awful, which is why I'm so excited that I stumbled upon Missy and her amazing graphics that she had, and she's actually giving away a pack for free. It's her pack of social media graphics that she gives away. She emails her list about my way with words. Maybe I've got, a copywriting free course that people can take, and everyone's happy because it's like, I'm not competing with ads. I'm not competing with a million other people doing reels. I'm not even competing with other people that are in summits or that sort of stuff. It's just a solo email talking about a cool freebie that somebody else has. And the big advantage that y'all have is that you are in a community. Because one of the biggest hidden dragons when it comes to that freebie swap is, who do I ask and how do I get them to say yes? And you're right, if you just pitch somebody out of nowhere and they've never heard of you before, they're not going to share the most valuable asset with you to their email list. They aren't. But if even you post in the community, hey y'all, I am, and then what you help with, and I'm looking for someone who, and then be very specific about that complimentary person. Because again, you don't want, like if I'm doing email marketing, probably don't want to team up with another email marketer because that can make some confusion. So I am all about rising all ships, but still, we want to look for someone who's complimentary. So you guys want to think to your audience, oh, if they're into this, what else would they be into? And this can work really well, whether you are business to business or business to consumers, because all you're doing is sharing about something cool that you found. Now, the other way that you can do this, if you feel a little nervous, though it's not as effective, but you can, is you can ask them to feature you. And I'm calling it bits and pieces. So my friend Naima, who is online, you might have stumbled across her. She's fantastic. Adds this bits and bobs section to the bottom of every newsletter. So she has like her normal email newsletter. She's pitching stuff. She's teaching. But then at the bottom, it's like 3 or 4 different things like around the web, fun finds that she's found going on, little updates, what she's reading, that sort of a section. So you could always pitch somebody and be like, hey, you don't have to send a full newsletter about me, but could you include it as a PS? Or if you do like a bits and bobs section, could you include the link to my landing page there? And of course, whichever one you do for me, I will do for you. So the way that we're going to go ahead and supercharge it, like we said, pitch people you actually know. It could be a DM. And I do have for you guys a little script that you can follow. At the end, I'll let you know how you can get that for free. That's a complimentary audience and about your same size. It's really weird to ask one of your friends or even people in the community to be like, hey, who has 1,000 email subscribers like I do? But just kind of letting people know ranges or letting them know your range can be really beneficial. And so some people say they might have, 5,000 people on your list and you only have 500. As long as you're forthcoming and you're honest with them, usually they'll let you know yes or no. Because if you have 500 people and you're just starting out, that's usually a pretty scrappy 500 people. That's usually a pretty dedicated audience of 500 people, which can actually be an asset. But I just like to be honest with people, but I know it can be really nerve-wracking to share that number since everyone's like your email list is your end all be all type of a scenario. So you want to try to get someone about the same so no one feels like they're getting taken advantage of, right? And again, team up with other service providers, team up with other content creators, that sort of scenario. And the thing that I like to do, especially even when I'm pitching my friends, is I will name one of their freebies in either the DM I send them or the email. So we'll just use Liz, for example, right? So be, hey Liz, so I was wondering if you'd like to do a freebie swap with me. I will share out about your welcome series freebie. If you go ahead and share out, and again, because we talked about the same thing, it wouldn't be the best choice, but if you'd sell out about my freebies that serve and sell free mini course that I have going on, And would you be up for, I don't know, maybe the second week of December? So that way we can both grow our list before everyone clocks out for Christmas. So when you're sending that pitch email, you want to make sure that you're naming the freebie and about the time that you would like people to send. Now, I realize that especially in the B2B space, people can plan out their send calendars like 90 days in advance. So they might not be able to do it. So even in your pitch or your DM, it can just be a rough ballpark, but just letting people kind of be whenever. That never happens, as you know. So it's like, hey, I was wondering if you'd be interested in doing it maybe the second or third week of December, or let me know if like the first week of February is a little bit better for you. So definitely name their freebie and give them the option of like, hey, or if there's anything else you'd rather promote that's free, let me know. Another way to sort of sweeten the pot is you could offer them an affiliate link if you have an affiliate program. So a lot of us tend to use Thrivecart, right? With Thrivecart, you can go ahead and link to any freebie that you have, technically any URL. And if somebody signs up for that freebie and then later goes on and buys, as long as it's in that sort of cookie window, then the person will get credit. So you can be like, hey, I'll even create you an affiliate link. This product is completely free, but if somebody buys down my funnel, you'll get that, right? You can also give them a pre-written email that you have about your lead magnet. At the very least, you want to tell them the points to hit, but I find that that can help. Or a pre-written bit or a little blurb if they're just going to include it as a PS or bits and pieces. And I would say with the freebie swap, one of the dragons that usually tends to come up is people will do this once, period, and then never do it again. So it's like, hey, it's not a reliable strategy because I have to work at it. You've got to work at everything, right? You always have to create those social media posts. You always have to create those blog posts. So it's making sure that you're aiming to do one once every other month. But honestly, if you can do one once a month, I think that that would be fantastic. But every other month, it's literally just 6 people. Because I know 12, second you get into double digits. Sounds a bit overwhelming. Like, where the crap am I going to find 12 people? Oh, man. But 6, it's like, wait a minute. 6 I can do. 6 works. I can do this. I can handle this. So definitely do that. Another way, and you're going to see that we talk about, again, the trip ups / hidden dragons and how we can supercharge it, is making sure that you tag the people that are coming from that particular creator. So essentially, what you're going to have to do is create your pitch email or DM, right? Which you can customize to the, we'll say that you have to pitch 12 people to get 6, because you never know, right? What your conversion rate on that's going to be. You're going to want to duplicate your landing page that you're sending people to. So everyone has a unique URL and they can get tagged so you can see where people are coming from. That's just in general. Anytime you do anything in marketing, you want to be able to have the data to back it up. It's like, well, I think that doing a freebie swap with Krista worked out really well, but let me actually sort of check the numbers so I can see. You're going to send them through your normal welcome series that you have for that freebie, any other type of funnel you have. It's not going to be anything besides that landing page and the ability to tag them that's going to be a little bit different. So that way you can just see. And I know that one of those hidden dragons some people get to when it comes to this is like, oh my goodness, but like, if Krista sends her email on Tuesday, but I don't email till Thursday, then it's going to be weird. Again, if you have that tag, like came from Krista, date and year that you've got on there for your little tag on the back end, then you can just exclude them from that newsletter that you're going to go ahead and send. And if you guys coordinate it where you send it at the exact same time and somebody happens to be on both lists, they'll be like, oh my goodness, like Krista was just talking about you too. It's not going to be that big of a deal. So you can go ahead and send one. So like I said, the biggest trip ups when it comes to this particular method is being so nervous to pitch. And especially with the audience that I help, which tends to be creators with ADHD, because our rejection sensitivity disorder is so high that like, oh my goodness, everyone hates me. Nobody likes me. They tend to be very people pleasing for the most part. That's why they're there, because they don't want to hear no. Or the reverse of that, they pitch someone and then they DM them, but they don't read the DM because they don't want the rejection. So the hardest part literally is usually building up the nerve to hit send. So to help with that, though I don't know how to do this on DM, but if you're just going to send an email to somebody, you can always write out your email, and even on Gmail, you can schedule it out to go for a different time. Schedule it out to go for a different time. So that way you don't have to worry about it. And the future, this is when robots help. The future robot you can go ahead and send them out. Again, when you name their freebie, when you talk about, again, those different time slots that they're going to have, how it's going to benefit their business. And if you want to sweeten the pot with some other stuff, you can go ahead and do so. The other trip ups that people have really is that they'll try to pitch people that have no idea they exist. This strategy works with people that we know best. So in my full course that I have on this inside of the Action Takers Club, we talk about the different tiers of people. Obviously, the people that you share a community with and people that you're online besties with, usually the first place to go. If you happen to have an affiliate program, reaching out specifically to those power affiliates that you have and being like, hey, I know you do a great job promoting this. This week, would you share my freebie? But you know what? I want to share your freebie as well. Let me help you grow your business for a change. And you can reach out to people like that. Yes, if you have potentially been in other bundles, which we'll talk about, or other summits, or potentially you were on somebody's podcast a couple of years ago, you can reach back out to them and see if they'd be willing to do it. But I feel like with this particular strategy, at first, the closest is better. And then after you do it with a couple of close people, then you'd be able to pitch people that are a little bit out of your scope. So say that I did one with my friend Krista. After we do ours, it's going to be successful for everyone. I'm like, hey, Krista, do you know anyone else that teaches about, and again, I would name the topics because we don't want to leave things open-ended, because I'd love to do a freebie swap with them. And then they'll usually respond back, oh yeah, I know this person, I know that person. And I'd be like, awesome. Would you mind if I share kind of the results that we got from ours when I go ahead and pitch them? Because I know people sharing their email list is a little weird. And most times people will be great with it. And then, like I talked about, other trip ups could be coordinating the send dates that you want to have, which is why you give some people some different options that you've got going on. We don't want to step in the middle of anyone's launches when we're doing these freebie swaps, and only doing it once a year and then just being like, oh, and forgetting about it. And again, this is one of these strategies. If you notice, it takes you 10, 15 minutes? Because we're using all the assets that we have. We're just hitting a duplicating button. And like I said, if you get the freebie down at the end, you're just updating the template that I have. And it's like, oh, I can spend 5 hours creating, scripting, we'll say another 2 to 3 hours editing a reel that might get 200 views. Still better than nothing, y'all. Still better than some of the ones I have, let's be honest. Or I can spend a fraction of that time, know that I'm getting in front of people, and have less competition. And if you're like me, not having to get dressed up, because not about that life, not about the life, especially in the wintertime. Not for me. So before we go ahead and move on with talking about our other two strategies, does anyone have any questions about freebie swaps or who they would go to? Like I said, I do tend to talk really fast and I wasn't looking at the chat. So let me know what you guys have when it comes to freebie swaps, potential dragons that you might come and stumble across. We'd love to be able to help you slay them if you've got any.
Yeah, we did have, oh, go ahead, Mirza, if you want to take it away. That's fine.
There's a ton of love in the chat. Lots of questions coming in. So I think one of the first questions that popped up a couple times is, how do you think about who are the right people to partner with? I know you mentioned, you don't want to go to direct competitors. You want to work with people that are tangentially related to your business. Can you give a couple examples of this, of what this looks like? Like, there's a lot of folks that dropped in information about their communities in the chat. One of them was helping nonprofits helping teach nonprofits how to assess the impact of their programs and build better storytelling. Another one was for mid-career teachers that are facing burnout, right? Like for some of these examples, what's a good example of the right tangential, person to go to there?
Awesome. So we had the example for the burnout, right? How do you help those people with their burnout, right? Maybe you could or could not, maybe you don't necessarily talk about the role nutrition can play, or you don't talk about necessarily how meditation can help a burnout, or you don't talk about finding the joy in things. So you think to yourself, okay, if someone's coming to me because they're burnt out, what else is sort of going around in their sphere? Or what else sort of makes sense? Because we want somebody who also goes ahead and targets somebody that works with usually teachers, right? So maybe it could be, again, somebody that sells lesson plans, for example. That's their whole thing. They sell lesson plans to middle school and high school teachers. They talk nothing about burnout. That's the person that you want. Because it's hey guys, I help with burnout, but I don't necessarily do lesson plans, especially math. Pythagorean, what? Not me. But Sally over here, that's what she does. And then it's y'all know, give me math and numbers any single day of the week, but the second that you tell me that you are burnt out, I cannot help you at all. Sally got this for you. So it's oh, all right. For a nonprofit, right? You said that you talk about helping people with their stories. That's awesome, right? That's more a word type of scenario. How about visually? How about using or leveraging, I know we just talked about social, any of a very specific social media platform to tell their story, to get out there. that you don't particularly do. If you don't help with communal elements, right? Like getting involved, say, in the community, can you search for somebody who teaches about other communities? And like I said, because you guys are a part of an amazing group here, and again, we want to have a little closer to home than farther away. Be like, hey, do any of you guys have any friends, or do you guys teach about this type of topic? And usually they can do a connection for you, because again, that's going to help. So it might be one of these things that you don't know any teachers that sell lesson plans, but it turns out someone that's in this group does. And it's like, hey, can you actually just do like a quick like BCC or just like a quick intro being like, hey, she also teaches that. She's looking to grow our email list and wanted to share somebody that gives away lesson plans, and she helps with this. So you can ask people to be that direct medium for you to be able to help out. And I think that can work really well. So it always sort of thinks of what else would my person be interested in, right? That I don't necessarily talk about. So it's like, oh, if they're into home organization, would they also want to know about budgeting? Or I talk about primarily like, containers and those, beautiful refrigerators that nobody really has, those restock ones. But I talk nothing about fashion or a capsule wardrobe. So I'm like, let me go ahead and be like this. That is what I would like to say.
Super helpful. And this is something that like even we've seen on our end in Heartbeat is when we were looking of like, what are the different, companies that we want to work more closely with? Who do we want to partner with? Right. Like there's other community platforms out there, and that's not where we're going to go. Instead, we're going to go to what are our customers using in addition to Heartbeat. And that looked like a lot of the email newsletter tools that are out there who are not building out community tooling, but they do have like really good, customers that we share with them. We looked at a lot of the video editing platforms as well too, companies like Tela, and we did a partnership with them because we know a lot of our customers are using them. We looked at some of the CRM systems as well too, again, because we saw a lot of our customers were using them, but it wasn't something that kind of like stepped on our toes when we were building out products. So I love that because it's a concept that like we even use day in and day out. And then there was a couple questions in the audience about just like the downloads. Don't worry, we are going to send a recording out. We're going to send out all the resources in an email afterwards. So do not worry. You're going to get all of this right after. Cool. Missy, is there any other like big questions that I missed in that time period? I was, scrolling through the chat, but I think I hit most of it.
I think everything else got answered in the chat, so I think we're good. And I will consider putting let me know in the comments if y'all want me to make a post in the Hearth, our community, where you guys can put in the comments about your businesses and what type of freebies you're looking to swap, and maybe you guys can make some connections in there. So let me know, give me some love in the comments if you want me to do that.
Amazing.
Sorry to step on your toes. And I would say, when you have that and you're like, hey guys, again, I'm looking for this. This is what I help with. Again, I would give like 4 or 5 and not just be like, hey guys, I teach copywriting. Does anyone want to do this with me? We always want to do that extra work for people, even in the Facebook group, but give a link for people to be able to directly see your freebie just in your Facebook group. Don't make them go to your landing page. If they want to go through your sign up process, they can, and you can always say that, but it's like, hey, here's the PDF that I give away for people. Don't share this link, everyone, but I wanted you to see the quality, because again, people can be really, really concerned with who they're sharing their email list with, which is why, as you notice, because again, my audience tends to second guess and mountains out of molehills. It is our favorite thing in the whole wide world to be able to do. That's why we added that little bips and bobs or the PFs. But the real thing that we're aiming for is, like I said, a nice just solo email. They could even do a freebie Friday type of a scenario. I'm seeing some people that are like, yeah, that's me. 1000%. And again, this is a strategy. If you just team up with 6 people, you can do it. And it doesn't have to be like every other month. I have one student that does this every single Friday. But like, this is like her main thing that she likes to do. She will send a freebie about anything on Fridays, but she tries to make sure at least 2 of them a month was somebody that she partnered with on her back end. Her list doesn't necessarily know, but that's just one of those things because she's somebody in her niche, because she loves writing, that she emails 3 times a week anyways. So it's however much you want to put in there. And again, the effort is just the back and forth and the building up the nerve. That's truly it. Like you said, with a landing page, you can just hit the duplicate button forever. And again, they're going to go into your normal funnel. It's going to be the same thing. You just want to make sure, even at the top end, to see how many eyeballs this got. And you would never be like, I can't believe they only got me 100. It's just to be able to see, because we want to be smart business owners. Nice. So the next tool that we are going to be talking about, and this is something that I have been doing for 6 years. We actually just celebrated our 6-year anniversary. This one is the one that is going to take you the most time, but I figured let's sandwich this one in the middle, and then we'll talk about number 3 in a second, and that is hosting your own bundle, which again, it's going to be more work than just you sending one email with your friend about their lead magnet that you may or may not have even pre-written them about how cool your lead magnet is. So a bundle, in case if you hadn't heard, although I like to think after 6 years, I've really gotten this concept out there to a lot of people. So I want to say like 7 out of 10 bundles is usually hosted by one of my students. And it's really funny because we have people emailing us be like, I know they took your course. I can tell. They're like, it was a great one. I'm like, good.
I have your bundle course. It's really good.
Yeah. Right. And essentially what a bundle is you're going to be teaming up with a bunch of other creators for a limited amount of time. You guys are going to be giving away access to what I call a Tripwire level product or better for free. And essentially what I mean by Tripwire is something that you actually sell is the best, or something that you could sell for a minimum of $12, but it can be up to something that is $97. The whole parameter, and we're talking about a free bundle, and we can talk about free versus paid. There's blended bundles and what ones actually work the best now, because the answer is very different than what it was a couple of years ago. Very, very different. It's stuff that people cannot get for free anywhere else. And because it's for a very limited amount of time, usually people will have about 5 days to sign up to get into the claim area. And then most hosts will give anyone who signs up an extra week to be able to go through and claim the things that they want to have. So you have that built-in scarcity and urgency where it's like, look, if you've had your eye on this, or if you have been struggling with, say, productivity, you know that's something I don't help with. I'm going to give you this Notion course completely for free when you sign up for this bundle, and you can choose to register for it, and you're going to get it from Pam, and it's amazing. So the key here is that people have to register both for getting access to the bundle claim area and for each individual item. So it's not like one of those, somebody signs up for a bundle and then you as the host is giving everyone a spreadsheet with everyone's email address. None of that. This is all like GDPR. I know California has a lot of privacy stuff. Everything is above board. People have to sign up for the things that they want. And like I said, back 6 years ago, this was like revolutionary. It was like, psh. Now they still do work. But again, I'm not here to like bullcrap anyone. Can you get as high numbers as you could have gotten 6 years ago? No. But can you get a higher views on TikToks normally that you could back 5 years ago? No. Like TikTok creators will tell you now, none of their stuff gets pushed back like it did in the day. But it doesn't mean that they have stopped posting. It doesn't mean that people are stopped going. It doesn't mean that it's still not a solid strategy. But I do like to just be honest with you in case if you're like, I've seen like 1 million business bundles. 1, you're welcome. And 2, it's because they still work. But I do want to set the proper expectation for them. So when it comes to hosting your own bundle, and I personally recommend a free one, you can add paid elements, and we'll talk about that in a second. I find those to be the most effective because everyone who's contributing and yourself are all going in with the goal of more subscribers, and that it can definitely deliver on. So I would say, and I have an entire course just like we had talked about that is way more in depth. I'm like, okay, if I could only tell people 5 things and then I threw in an extra one, what would I tell them? The first time you host a bundle, whether it's a free one, which is what I recommend, or if you decide to add a pay element, I would not do, and you're going to find this in the trip ups, I would not do a strict paid bundle. Even if you're like, oh, well, we'll just do like $9 and they'll get these 15 courses for $5. I wouldn't do it. Or $9. I wouldn't. I would just do it as like free. And then you make money on the back end and on the front end, which we'll talk about. But I say go for about 15 unique items for your first bundle. The biggest like trip up that you're going to find, besides technology, which we'll talk about how to circumvent that in a second, is hosting a bundle is about wrangling cats. That's the biggest thing. And I know I say this in collaboration caption a lot. It is making sure people submit things on time. Although I'm very much of the philosophy is if you can't submit this on time, then get out type of a scenario. It is making sure other people's links work. We've had a couple instances where we warned people, if you're on the cusp of your email service provider's subscriber cap, you need to upgrade before this bad boy goes live. And like, no, it'll be fine. It wasn't fine. They tapped out, and then I had to take their gift off the page because their stuff stopped working. So that they missed out on 2 days worth of stuff because like, we'll warn you. Like, Even if you just have to upgrade for that month, just to make sure, go ahead and do so. But what I have found is that people, especially in the business to business space, will see like these giant bundles with like hundreds of people and think, oh, that's the only way I should do this. People have such high decision fatigue that like they're not getting past page 3. And even if they do get past page 3, because say that they've got a couple weeks to be able to download and claim everything, because they are so inundated with choice of what ones to get. Did I pick the right one? Did I pick the wrong one? Now they've got all these emails to deal with and everything else. It's not what you would think as a great user experience anymore. It just isn't. And I think personally that you can make such a connection, because if you have 99 other contributors, that's like 99 other people that you want to follow up with on Instagram and that you want to be able to shout them out. And maybe you have a podcast and you want to do a podcast with them. And it's so hard to really build those core relationships. So that way, when those say other 15 people are asked, hey, do you know anyone that helps nonprofit? Your name is going to be at the top of the list, because you can give more of a one-on-one experience with your contributors. That's why I always say, I find that 15 is a really great number to start out with. You can go up to, I would say 40 is really great. Realize when you're doing this, and this is more of a trip up, but you're going to have people fall off. So you might have somebody that's like, yes, I totally want to do the bundle. It's great. And then they don't fill out their form. Or what we'll do is we'll kind of do like a last call email, like reminding everyone of our promotional requirements, which we're going to talk about. That's like the bottom one that I had to throw in for you. And then all of a sudden you remind people, hey, you agreed to this. You signed this contract. You have to do this. And you'll still get people being like, oh, I've got to drop out now. And you're like, yeah, seems about right. Seems about right. So realize you might get, say, 30 people that say yes. But by the time you open, you might be in, I'm just putting this out there, you might be down to 24. And that is not a problem. The key to putting together a great bundle is you want unique items. So you want to ask people, hey, if you've participated in other people's bundles earlier this year, that's awesome. But I want a product you haven't put in there before. We're looking for unique. I want you to get the most email subscribers. And if people have already seen this for free 3 or 4 times, it's not going to be worth your time in this bundle. And I don't want that for you. And that's why we're going with, right? Another thing that I tell my students, and again, not everyone follows this, I am very much of a proponent. I want one gift or one item per content pillar, because I want my contributors to stand out. I will tell you, there was a paid bundle that came out, it was like 2 years ago. And especially, like I said, paid is really hard, a really hard sell at this point. I swear to you that half that bundle was all getting started with blogging. It literally seemed like the same exact course, but just like 17 different people's. 1, no one's going to buy this thing because there's no variety. And 2, even if they did buy it, they've got 17 experts. They're going to pick 1 or 2 that they actually like and go through it. So I want my contributors to stand out. Now, I will be honest, there are some times where it's like, okay, we accidentally got somebody that talked about the same vertical once or twice, and that's it, right? But if I can help it, I want no one stepping on anyone else's toes. And I know a lot of people like to contribute to bundles, and we're going to talk about that next, so don't worry. But when you're the host, you get to be the star, even though it's everyone's show, but you get to make sure that you're not allowing people in, again, that are going to step on your toes. So like if I'm a copywriter who specifically does web copy, I'm not going to let anyone else in who talks about pages. But say if there's somebody that does teach about like launch copy or emails, well, that's fine, right? If I'm an Instagram expert, if I want to be the nonprofit expert, I'm probably not going to pitch anyone else who's a nonprofit expert, at least not in the same vertical that I've got. So it's like, oh, I'm the one and the only. I'm the one that's going to stand out. When you're the host as well. Yes.
Is it actually possible to pull back a little bit and kind of from a high level explain what a bundle is and what a great bundle looks like? Because what we're realizing from some of the comments is there's a lot of folks that have actually never run a bundle before that are coming into this and trying to understand what should this look like for the first time? What does good actually look like here? So do you mind zooming out for us a little bit and just kind of giving the high level overview of a bundle as well?
Awesome. Okay. So the high overview of a bundle, essentially what happens, like we had said, you're going to team up with, we'll just say 10, just to keep the numbers even, 10 other contributors. And what's going to happen is that for 1 week, all of you are going to email about this one registration page. A person who puts in their email address then gets access to what's called a claim area, where that's where people can sign up for the individual items that are inside of the bundle. So, for example, because somebody had asked what the benefit is, if you're somebody that's having a very, very hard time growing your email list, all of a sudden, now you have 15 other people talking about you and your stuff and talking you up how much you're an expert. Same thing with everyone else who is actually in the bundle itself. Now it's like, oh, I have all of these people telling their audience that I'm the productivity person. So I'm building that know, like, and trust factor from all of my other contributors from being in this bundle, and I'm the expert in it. And again, the what's in it for me is like, okay, I am indeed giving away a product for free. It's for a limited time. And we're going to talk about this when we talk about leveraging other people's bundles. You're going to make sure that you have a really strong back end behind it. So like, I'm not just going to throw in something willy-nilly that can't lead to another sale of a different product anywhere else. I'm going to make sure that I'm picking an item that represents my expertise and is a stepping stone to a larger offer or a more recurring offer that I have. So any type of like starter guides that are really juicy, again, you just don't want it to be a lame checklist because no one's going to want that. Like we talk about, you want it here. And as the bundle host, you get to be, and I try to make it that everyone's the center of attention, but truly you get to be the center of attention. Yes, contributors only get the email addresses of the people that signed up for their individual item. Because again, why would they want to fill their list with people that are just going to unsubscribe and call them spammers? I only want people, if I sell Instagram courses, I only want people interested in Instagram. And if they got my Instagram templates, that tells me, hey, they're probably having a trouble posting on Instagram. And guess what? I've got a suite of stuff that they can go ahead and take.
So just to confirm, right? Like we talked about kind of what good looks like and what bad looks like. And one of the ones you mentioned was like, you saw a bundle where it was like 15 different online writing courses, right? And no one's going to take all 15 of those courses. Like it's way too much. And so a better, like more diversified bundle would be like, hey, if you want to start a business writing online, here's one course that's on writing online. Here's another one that's on building your website. Here's another one, which is your social media pack, right? Things like that, where you have this like diversified offering that solves a lot of the problems that you have, but you get to work with these different contributors. And thereby you get access to all of their audience as well too, right? Your name gets shared across all of these different potential customers. And then when those customers come in to actually buy from the bundle page, that's when you're going to get contact information because they're opting in. They're saying, this is something I want. And then you're going to see all of these folks come in just being driven by the traffic from, the 15 other people that are in. Are we like explaining this correctly?
Yes. That is exactly
Amazing.
how it's going to work. And somebody had mentioned like, oh, is this just like a freebie swap on steroids? Yes, but no, in the fact that for a freebie swap, it's just your normal lead magnet. It is nothing special. For a bundle, you want something special. You want something that people cannot get for free anywhere else, but besides in the bundle. Other
Amazing.
than that, they've got to pay for it, or potentially it's part of products that you've pulled off that you are going to give away.
Yeah. And you're getting all this audience because it's so many people coming in and doing it all at the same time and kind of like blasting it through their channels too.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, again, you have 15 people. So now you've got that flashlight. We're in social. Everyone's pointing their own flashlight at themselves, right? And it's not really working. And like the robots aren't really getting you out there. But no, for 5 whole days, everyone is talking about Elizabeth's super awesome bundle that she's got going on. They register. When you're the host, technically you can get everyone's email address, right? I always tell people if they're on my email list, but they don't sign up for this, they're not getting access to that claim page because you're just like everybody else, right? So you're going to notice as the host, yes, you're going to get a lot of repeat subscribers, but I guarantee you not everyone who's on your list is on everyone else's list from that 15 group of people.
So just to clarify, you have an opt-in page that everybody has to opt into. You get all the email addresses. Then they see the bundle page with everybody's freebies. They opt into whichever ones matter to them. And those are the contributors that get the email addresses, basically.
Yeah, because it goes to the contributors like landing page, or like in our particular case, a lot of times they'll create a coupon code. So it'll go to that contributor's sales page. They'll put in the coupon code. It'll act like it's a normal customer. And then there you go. That way, legally, everyone gets all the information that they are indeed supposed to get.
Yeah. So it sounds daunting, but essentially you just have to create one opt-in page, one page with all the bundles listed that links to the contributors. They have to set up their own stuff on their end, and you just got to wrangle everybody and market it, right?
I was going to say, we're talking about tools and assets. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I think everyone's on board now. They're getting it.
Right? It's one of those, I'm like, oh, I should have grabbed, because again, it is a concept that I feel like a lot of people usually know. And don't feel bad if you don't know. I love the US questions. I didn't bring in my graphic because I usually do have a little graphic of how it works, where it's like everyone goes to the landing page, then they get to the claim page. And then when they click on like, yes, I want this, then it sends them to each contributor's individual landing page or checkout page that contributor had to set up. As the host, obviously it's your job to go through, make sure everyone's links work, make sure they're not asking for credit cards if they're not supposed to, all of that. The biggest headaches when it comes to hosting a bundle does tend to be the tech aspect, which is why even though I used to love running them in February, I have found that February can be rough because it turns out that that's when a lot of regulations for software has to be enacted. So literally it was in 2024, Kit broke, Thrivecart broke, Lead Pages broke. And like Kit at the time had been well known for never breaking. I'm like, how? And it was all at different points in time of like the 2 or 3 weeks leading up to our bundle, because we had done the 3rd week of February. And then one of my friends was like, did you know that that's when all the regulations come out? So it's probably they have to do coding on their back end. I'm like, that's why. But I loved February because ours is called one of our bundles is called the Back to Business bundle. And I feel like everyone loses steam by mid-February, especially all like the New Year's resolutioners. So like it made so much sense. But tech is usually the thing that's going to get in your way a little bit when it comes to hosting. But for me, bundles are a lot easier than hosting summits, because for summits, like you have to get on video or you have to edit all those videos. And for a summit, you usually want 30 people, right? So that's 30 videos that you had to edit besides your own. That's 30 unique pages that you had to create beyond your own, and the expiration pages. Again, summits are fantastic. And I always tell people, try both of those collaborative events to see which one you gel with, because you never know. You might be like, I'm not really a fan of a bundle, but I like to summit. Or it might be like, okay, I'm never doing a summit ever again, but that bundle was so much easier. That's the one that I want to do. So I really just, in 2026, I just want you to try something new. Or to try something, maybe you've done that freebie swap before, do it a little bit more consistently when it comes to it. So when it comes to hosting a bundle, I want you to be strategic about when you host it. And this is one of these things that people don't necessarily think of. So when it comes to strategic, it's like, oh, if you typically launch a product, say in April, then perhaps the very beginning of March is when you want to host your free bundle that you've got going on. So that way you have an entire month to get people warmed up. They now see you as that expert that talks about this. And then you can put them into, say, whatever webinar you're doing or whatever challenge you're doing or whatever flash sale that you're running. Because like, oh, I have all of these brand new people to be able to launch to. And that 3 or 4 weeks is enough to warm them up and give your brain and body some time to calm down, so you're not doing back-to-back launches where it's like, oh, I did my free bundle and then the week after I'm going to do a special on my course. That's going to be a lot. Even for my pre-planners, it's a lot. So you want to do that, right? And I always try to tell contributors, because usually I'll do something about 3 weeks after, and I'll ask them, they don't make it a requirement. It's like, hey, I'm going to be doing a launch of something that's tied into the bundle. If you could somehow avoid this particular week to also launch to all these brand new people, that would be awesome. Okay. One thing that I am a super stickler for is the promotional requirements, especially for free bundles, because it is work. I'm not here to tell you like it's no work. Less work than other things, but it's still work to be able to get it done. And so I need you to promote. And it is not fair if only 13 of us are pulling our weight and sending the 2 promo emails that we all agreed to, and you're not. You don't get to reap the rewards. It's not happening. So what I tell all my students, and I've really, really tried to harp on this so hard, is you need to have a bundle contract, which I know can sound really scary. And if you participate in other people's bundles and they don't have one, I want you to second guess that. Because the bundle is for 2 reasons, that bundle contract. 1, you can kick people out because they didn't meet the promo requirements. For us, it's usually 2 emails. And if you do not send that first email and you don't show us proof, you're out. One of my students, she likes to do it where she has like a pre-launch period, like a wait list. If they do not get proof that you sent an email to the wait list about their event, you're out. So you don't even get to reap the rewards of getting a couple days in there when everyone else is pulling their weight. And I know it's a bit extreme. And if you've ever participated in summits, sometimes people say it's mandatory or they would like to. As somebody that has tried to be more loosey-goosey, because again, I always like to run these experiments on my own bundles and then come back and tell my students, don't. It is not going to be worth your time because people won't promote. Even if you send them a million reminder emails, even if you shout out other people that you do see are promoting, they signed a contract saying that they were going to do it. And I've seen some people that their contracts are ridiculous. Like there was one person that tried to pitch us to be in their bundle. They wanted us to talk about nothing else for 3 weeks. And they wanted us to be in no other bundle or summit for at least 2 months prior. And I said, absolutely not. Like I always tell my students, we're asking them for a week. It's like for the week that the bundle is live, don't promote any other summits, don't promote any other bundles, send 2 whole emails that I pre-wrote for you about the bundle because all it's going to do is help you as well. So everyone's pulling their weight. But again, I feel like it's very hard to enforce if you don't have the contract. And the contract is good for them because then they know I'm not just giving out access to that coupon code that they gave me to anyone and whenever I feel like it. Granted, on their end, they should make sure they have the right expiration date on that coupon code, but it's not like all of a sudden I'm leveraging Missy's course to sell one of my own. It's like, oh, buy, Trelloing for traffic, and then you can get Missy's stuff over here for free too. So I was like, no, it's just for the bundle. That's the only way I can talk about your product. That's the only people I can give the coupon code to. They don't sign up here. It just protects everyone. So that's why I'm like, I have to throw in that bullet point. And then, like I said, some other ways that you can make money, because everyone's like, I'm doing a lot of work. And while yes, I can sell on the back end of the bundle, you can have tripwires, you could have upsells, you can do your big launches. You can do things like you can sell, say if you're going to have more of that 40 people because you've say done a summit before and you're good at wrangling cats. So you just want to dip your toes into a bundle this time. Then you can sell VIP or sponsorship spots. So people can be higher up on the page. They can be featured more in marketing. Maybe you just want to have 5 people and you'll interview those 5 people on your podcast. Now you don't even have to think about what to do for your free content going up to the bundle because you've got other contributors coming up there talking about their items, sharing their expertise. Maybe they're even going to share that podcast episode with their audience. And again, sell that like you would any other sponsored spot. So that way they have a chance to be able to stand out in the sea of 40, in a sea even of 15, to be able to do that when it comes there. So you can do that as well. We'll always put if you want to support the bundle, we'll put affiliate links to different resources. Like, hey, we've had a lot of people, they're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I got this for free. Well, if you happen to be in the market for, this piece of software or that piece of software, and you wouldn't mind using my code, go right ahead and do it there. So we would have that. So that's what it is there. And for the bundle, like we had already talked about, what you're going to need is an info page for your contributors going over dates, requirements, promotion requirements, an intake form, your registration page, and your claim page. That's pretty much about it. And obviously you are going to create those swipe files for people to send. And like I said, we had talked about that you do want to have that bundle contract that we've got going. The next one is going to be really super fast because I know people do need to go ahead and head out. And that's just how to leverage other people's bundles. And this is say you're like, Kate, that sounds like a great idea, but I don't want to do any of that work. How can I reap some of that benefit? Again, when you're the host, it's your party. You can do whatever you want. When you're participating in other people's bundles, you can't be like, oh, I'm the only person that talks about blogging in here, right? I get to do whatever I want. You don't get to say that because it's not your party. You're not the host. So you're kind of at the whim of somebody else, but it still can be beneficial if you're like, let me just see what it's like. Let me just see what it's like in the back end when it comes to this. So basically, instead of running this whole shindig, you just went ahead and you either applied to be in other people's bundles. And I do have a couple of links that you can always go to. You ask in community groups like this, hey, is anyone running a bundle? Has anyone heard of any of these sorts of things? Sometimes even in summit speaker groups on Facebook, you can find them. Sometimes you can just search for bundle and kind of in your industry to see when the dates are. And then see if you can find the person that headed it up and email them and be like, hey, can I be in your next one? Right? And then make a note to circle back with them probably about, I would say at least 3 months ahead of time. Like, hey, I know I'd asked you last year to be in this bundle. Just wanted to let you know, here's what I can help with. Here's the different topics that I can go ahead and cover. So to make the most out of being in other people's bundles, and this is really important, you want to make sure that the mock-up that you have, so that's the little picture that you've got of your item that's going to show up on that claim area, looks great. I know everyone's like, oh, the description. Yes, the description does matter. Yes, the headline and name can definitely matter. But again, these people are making a split-second decision about 40 other people that they can claim from. And again, some bundle hosts, it's 100. And you can always ask the host, oh, about how many contributors are you having, right? Just to be able to see, or so you can be able to set your expectation as best as you want to when it comes to this. We want you to look professional. We want your item to look like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this person is giving this away for free, right? So spend some time on that little mock-up, little computer and little iPads that have the screenshots. Just don't use something that you threw like splashed together in Canva with like a yellow background and blue lettering. Like, don't do that. You want it to look nice. You want it to look professional. Again, this is for your own bundle too, but definitely if you are participating and now you don't have the leverage of being able to stand out as much as possible, you want to be able to do it. You want to make sure that your follow-up sequence that you have for the bundle is rock solid. So even if it is a product that you sell all of the time, I would make it so that they get a special buyer series. And say if you want to participate in a couple of bundles, like I say, 2 to 4 bundles a year max. And if you host your own, I would only be in 2 other people's bundles, right? You want to create a welcome series for them that's a little bit different than the normal buyer. Again, if you're giving away a product that you normally sell for $36, but for this week, like the grocery stores, you're going to have your stop loss, right? As they call it, to be able to get people in the door because you have a strong upsell funnel that you've got going on to it, or because you just want to be known, or because you're pivoting to that, right? Maybe you need some social proof that people like this course, whatever reason it is for submitting it. You want to go into the fact that they probably have no clue who you are. Whereas if somebody's actually buying the product, even if they just met you, somehow they've had some interaction with you at this point in time. So that's what I would say. If you are going to participate in other people's bundles, spend a lot of time on your mockup. Really make sure that that buyer series that they get is slightly different than people that are just purchasing it normally. Because again, you've got to warm them up too. Like I always say to people, make sure they can see your face. And if they can hear your voice, even better. Because we want to build connection. And one of the things that I hate more than anything are the AI people. And what I mean by AI people are literally the fake people. And I know I see you guys smirking, the fake people. Or even when people use fake versions of themselves. One of my friends did it, but she's like, Kate, and everyone, because she posts on social, she's like, this is my experiment. See what AI me sounds like. Because AI people, fake people are coming out of everywhere. They need to know that you're a real person, right? They need to see, like, again, the stutters, the influx in your voice. You know how you can just tell something is off? It's because the volume for which people speak is different depending on what words they are saying. It just is, right? Maybe it's because I'm a giant geek and that's what my degree's in, but it's like, I can spot you. I can tell which software is using, like, yep. Got them every time, every single time. And so we want to be able to stand out in that welcome series. And again, to not devalue the things that you've created or to not grow a list of all of the people that are like, oh, they're just freebie seekers. You want to make sure that you don't do this all the time. Which is why, especially at the beginning, like after you participate in that first bundle and you see an extra 200 people come into your email list, and it's like, it took me a year to get 100, and now you're telling me in 5 days I got 200 people, it can be addicting, and you're going to want to go into a lot of them. Pull yourself back. Be a little bit more selective, right? But you'd be like, okay. So that way your audience is trained to think, oh, well, eventually, maybe I'll be able to get this other thing for free. When it comes to that, that's not what we're necessarily looking for. Again, the things that trip people up here truly is about finding the bundles that you've got going on. And I have some places that you guys can go find bundles. The bad bundle host, which you can't help, but that's like they miss deadlines, they don't communicate, the user experience is bad, or it's just like a low quality bundle. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong that if you apply to be in a bundle, or maybe if you're getting pitched for a bundle, because we have some people, once you speak in a summit or once you do one bundle, you'll get pitched for a lot. There's nothing wrong about asking the host questions like, oh, about how many people do you think you'll have? Or, oh, do you have a cap on how many people get to speak about this topic? I'm just wondering. And most bundle hosts are not going to be mean about it. It's just if you demand these things, they'll be mean about it. And again, you drop the ball if you just put any willy-nilly product in there with any willy-nilly follow-up. You want to be very strategic about it when it comes to it. So I know that we need to go ahead and wrap up because I can talk forever. But by the end of the day, I want you to go ahead and pitch one person to be in a freebie swap. If you need a little help, I have a freebie for you guys. You can go to katedoster.com/heart. What I've been using here is Notion. So I have a little Notion tracker for you. You can put in somebody's name, the status, the date, the contact info, even what freebie you have them do a freebie swap with, because maybe you want a bunch of your different freebies getting out there. And I have a little template that you can use to go ahead and just be like, hey, it's that. The next thing that I want you to do, but this is like the main thing, because I feel that the freebie swap, while mentally it can be really tough, actual like pragmatic wise, it's the 1000% the easiest to do, because there's no other ifs, ands, or buts, right? Either somebody says yes or someone says no, you can control sending that email immediately. And the next one is I want you to commit to either hosting or being in a bundle in 2026. If you're like, yeah, bundle hosting's for me, then I want you to go ahead and pull out a Google Calendar and actually mark off the dates. Most people, the bundle itself is open for about 5 days for registration. And I always say give yourself 60 to 90 days. Not that you're necessarily going to need it to put the pieces together, because this is very much like you pitch people, you wait, everyone has their deadline to submit stuff, and you're not really doing too much. That's like you write your little copy and then it opens. So there's a lot of dead air time. But especially if you want to get help from other business owners, a lot of us tend to already know what we're doing in March, like right now. So I wouldn't say, oh, go host a bundle the first week of January. People are going to say no, even though technically you could pull it together, because they already have their January launches planned. So that's the only reason why I say to give yourself that leeway, is because we want to make sure that we can get to other people's calendars. And I would even say, to go even further, if you're going to host a bundle, just tell your email list or tell your community something cool is coming in 2026. You can't talk about it, but it's one of the biggest things that you've done. I do have a freebie on the different tools and tech that you can use to host your bundle. I start with completely free to if you want to elevate that. And that one's katedoster.com/bundle-tools. It's completely free. And then to be in other people's bundles, my students will sometimes put their bundles that they're looking for people. And that's just katedoster.com. We've got here bundle-search. And then my friend Faith Mariah, she and her company host 4 bundles a year, 2 of which are business to business and 2 of which are business to consumer. And hers you can always find at faithmariahevents.com. And I'll see if I can try to make this a little bit bigger. I don't think so because it's a bulleted list, but we'll just change it into a headline so you can see it a little bit better. So you can be able to actually check out if you're going to be in somebody else's bundle, if anybody actually has any that are available. Again, post in the group, see if anyone else is doing them as well. And like I said, my little bonus is ask 3 people if they know any other bundles going on in your niche or that have been in your niche. So that way you can potentially start building a relationship with the host that you have.
Amazing. This was an incredible jam-packed hour, and just huge +1 to all the resources.
And I did hear you guys about the link not working. I'll go and double check on my end. Again, technology just loves us, so I'm going to fix it right now.
Cool. Sweet. So, Kate, I'm going to go ahead and kick you off screen sharing real quick, but we're so excited to send out those links. We'll make sure to include those in the follow-up email as well, too. So we've got a ton of resources that we're going to be sharing with you guys. The last thing that I want to share as a thank you for everyone that joined on live today is we do have an amazing offer that's available to y'all for joining on Heartbeat. Heartbeat is the AI platform for building out your community business. It's the only platform where you can literally talk back and forth with an AI agent and have it build out your whole community for you. We've seen people basically go from signing up their account to getting a launch-ready business done in an hour or 2, which used to take 2 weeks. It used to take a month of actual work, but now you can pull all those ideas out in your head and actually build it into a community faster than ever. We mentioned a lot of tools on this call of different tools for like payment pages, for sign-up pages, for running an affiliate program. And what's nice is if you want all of those in one platform for your business, Heartbeat is a platform that does that for you in a really elegant way that helps you grow and scale up your business, not just getting your first $1,000 or your first $10,000, but we've seen people create multi-million-dollar businesses on the platform. So use the link that I'm screen sharing right now. It's heartbeat.chat/Kate. And with that link, what you're going to do is you have to create a community in the next 2 days. When you decide to upgrade, whenever that is, you will automatically get 50% off your first 3 months of Heartbeat on either our growth or our starter tier, just to make it a little bit easier for you guys as you're getting your businesses off the ground. So again, the link is heartbeat.chat/Kate, and you do have to create your free trial within the next 2 days because we really want to make sure that we value those like fast movers and give them the best resources available. With that covers everything that we had for today. The very last thing that I love to do, and this is just as like a little gift for our speaker, is if you guys have a second, drop into the Zoom chat one learning, one takeaway that you are taking from this call with Kate. What is one thing that you're going to improve in your business? One thing that you've learned? Go ahead, type it up, and then drop it in the chat. This is always like one of my most favorite parts of the call, because we get to see like all of the cool learnings, all of the cool insights. So we've seen a ton of folks that mentioned in the chat that they hadn't thought about bundle options. Yeah, so Elizabeth said, I hadn't thought about a bundle option, so thank you. From Clarissa, a contract for those bundles as well. From Jen, why to actually do a bundle, having never done it or seen it before. Amazing. So many insights coming in. I love seeing this. Even, figuring out what swaps look like and how to think about that, being strict with with non-contributors. Amazing. Cool. So many insights, so many learnings. This was an amazing call. Thank you guys so much for joining on live. We really appreciate it. We're going to send out all the links in that wrap-up email so that you guys can get everything that Kate shared today, as well as that promo link from Heartbeat. But thank you guys so much for